Hey guys, this Houdini project file is available on GoRoad. You can watch the full tutorial for free here on YouTube. And grab the complete file to boost your studies. The link is in the description. Let's create a LopNet. Lop network. Rename to LookDev. Joystick. Let's dive inside. Let's create a SOP import. Rename to PS5 Joystick. Change sublayer style to cop SOP. Get the in joystick. Create a mesh edit to create the subdivision. Enable here Catmull Clark. Here the type should be type mesh. Let's create a material assign material library. This for the grains pool. Material assign pool. Color this to yellow. Copy these nodes. Paste here. This should be red for the joystick. We are going to separate the material library from the grains from the joystick, because here just one material, and the joystick around the more than 10 materials, around the 30 materials. One for each part of the joystick. Let's create a dome light. And create our Redshift node. Rename this to RS Joystick Beauty Can 1. Let's import here our camera. Scene import camera. This should be camera 1. Copy the same camera. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and camera 4. Change the path of the cameras. Camera 2. Camera 3. Camera 4. Let's create a merge here. At the side we are going to import our grains. Let's change the resolution here, Full HD. Change here to camera shot 1. Advance the mode in Redshift. Change the threshold to 1 to fast rendering. Let's create a SOP import to import the symbols. Rename this to square. Let's get the square. Geo symbols square. Change here to cop SOP. Copy this node. Ctrl C, Ctrl V, Ctrl V, Ctrl V. For symbols, square, circle, triangle, cross. Merge all these nodes. Square, circle here, triangle, and a cross. Here are the 4 symbols. Let's create an instancer. Connect these symbols here at the second input. Change the name to instancer waves. Inside the instancer, let's load our grains, grain points. Load here. Geopool waves, out pool simulation. Here are the points. Let's clean up these attributes a little bit. We don't need so many attributes. We just need the position, p-scale. I don't think we have the p-scale yet. P-scale we have. We need the velocity and the name. We need the name to identify which symbol for which particle. Let's go back there. Here, we can delete the attributes we don't need. Delete everything except the color, the velocity, position as well, the name, color, name, velocity, and orient. We need to keep orient. Delete all the groups as well. We don't need any groups here. Let's go back to Solaris. Output here. Let's see the instancer. I think I need to decrease the p-scale. Adjust the p-scale. Let's go back there. Let's change the p-scale size here. Where is p-scale? I think I deleted this p-scale. I need the p-scale here. And you can go back there at the Solaris. Too small, we need to increase a little bit. Let's create an attribute create here, just to adjust the p-scale size. P-scale. Value is, the current value is here is around 0.015. Let's put 0.5, 0.5, 0.05 and see the result. We need to increase the size here a little bit, like 0.1. I think we need to increase a little bit more, like 0.2. Yes, I think that size okay. Maybe 0.15 or 0.20, between these two values. Let's connect this here. Here we need to create a geometry. Render geometry settings to activate the motion blur. In Redshift, set your creative velocity blur. Here at the dome light, let's load our ADR file here. Let's take a look of our ADR file. That is our ADR file we need to use. Now let's take a look at the rendering without any shaders, just with the the dome light. Shot 1. Let's see the render. We have already something interesting here. Let's adjust the rotation of the light. We need to rotate the dome light by 180. We need to adjust, let's see in other camera, let's adjust the shader of the grains. Let's create our first material here. Redshift, RS symbols. Let's create a user, color user data attribute, and connect here the base color. Change here to display color. Choose the color from the particle itself and apply the shaders to the grains. Autofill materials and apply the shader here. Let's select our prototypes. Circle, cross, square and triangle and put here. The material path should be our symbols. Let's adjust the color a little bit from the grains because I think it's too reddish. We need to be more white. Let's go back to the shader. Let's adjust the light first. Base diffuse 1.5. Specular multiplier 2. Let's adjust the color intensity. Like 1.5 weight the color. We need more white here. Let's adjust there in the waves. We can make the blend color much more stronger, the amplify color like 2 times this value. Let's go back to Solaris. Now let's apply the shader to the joystick. Let's disable here disconnect the pool of symbols just to see the joystick and apply the shaders. Let's create the materials. We need a lot of materials. Let's create a few materials here. Let's disable the viewport and rename the materials. We need RS button glass, RS button mate square, for the texture, we need texture this just shader materials without any texture. Here we are going to use some textures. RS texture. Let's load the file. The call merge. Let's create a color splitter. Let's create a color constant. Color mix. Connect the out color to the base color here. Mix amount should be the R from the color splitter. color constant should be 0.3. And create another color constant here. Like a bright gray. Another shade we need to apply the texture. This need the texture. Let's change the color just to find later fast. This need the texture. We already did the texturing. This shader need the texturing. This one needs some attributes from the geometry. Let's apply the texture here. Texture, decal merge, create a color splitter. Create a color mix. Connect the color mix here, the base color. Create a constant color. Should be 0.4. And create another color constant. Connect here. With the value of 0. Let's adjust that. Gel color. Create the texture. Load the same file, the color merge. Let's just copy these nodes here to that shader. It's much faster than create from scratch every time. Color constant here should be 0.2. And here should be 0.6. Here the neon border. We need to create some attributes in the geometry. The attribute we are going to use is emission amount. The emission amount should be this color here from this geometry. We need to create some gradient in the geometry to apply this emission in the shader. Let's go back to the joystick. Here. Let's create a subnet here. Change the name to emission. Mask. Change the color. Let's dive inside. Let's split our geometry. This should be the geometry, border, touchpad border glass. Let's create a boundary here. Let's create a color, white. Create a bound. Create a sphere inside this bound. Let's create points from volume. And let's create a color, red. And attributes transfer. We are going to transfer the color, this to this. CD 0.18. Let's decrease the scale here, create a transform, like 0.7, it's okay. Now you can see the colors apply. Let's smooth the colors. Strength of 100. I think we need more strength, more smooth. Filter quality 1. Yes, that's cool. Let's create the mask here from the color. Vex emission mask. The variable should be at emission amount equals at cd.g. Let's delete the color attribute and merge back to the original geometry. Okay, let's go back to the Solaris and continue to tweak the shaders. Let's create a color mix. Connect here the base color, color from black, to the red, create a constant, the color should be in the second input here, the red. Enable here the transmission to 1. Decrease the roughness like 0.1 and the weight by 0.1 as well. Let's apply the shader to each piece. Create 15 materials. Let's count the materials here. 6 and 9 is 15 materials, okay. Autofill materials and create the 15 materials here. Let's speed up the process of apply the shaders here, connect the shaders. Just change the name to adapt to the shaders, okay? This material the name is incorrect. Shell Black Rough should be the correct name. Assign here outfill materials again. Now let's see the materials and tweak them. Here the button glass, enable the transmission. Decrease the weight of roughness. Decrease the roughness as well. Just to see the colors here. The color of the base should be 0.8. Let's go to the next. Button made square. Here should be 0.4 in roughness. Almost black. In the button stick, should be metalness around 0.32. Almost black color. The stick button here. Roughness should be like 0.6. That's fine. Let's zoom out a little bit. Buttons options create. I think this button here, this should be the options create. Or this button or this button. I think it is this button here. Almost black. 0.6 in roughness. 0.32 in metal. Yes, these buttons here. Button mute should be 0.35 in weight. 0.7 transmission. This button here, little button. In 0.5 in roughness. Button icon. The weight of the shader should be 0.85. 0.7 in roughness. And that's it. Shell polish back. Actually, the name, you need to adjust the name here. Shell black polish. Shell black polish. Let's outfill the materials again. Shell black polish. Yes, using here. This should be almost black. .3 in roughness. And that's it. Now shell black rough. .6 in roughness. Now shell color should be here almost black. 0.75 in the roughness. A little bit of metal, 0.07. Let's decrease a little bit the roughness, like 0.6. Okay. Logo PS should be darker, not so much, like this. Don't need to change the roughness, anything. Neon emission. Don't need to change anything here. Neon border. Transmission should be 1, okay. Roughness 0.1. And here, this value should be in emission. Emission color, the mix. Emission amount. Let's enable the emission here. Weight 1. Here, the emission is working. Let's increase a little bit of the roughness. Let's decrease. Now let's darken the buttons. Actually, let's change these 3 final shaders before I adjust the button colors here. Metal Chrome. Let's see, I don't remember which object is Metal Chrome, I think. Weight 0.5. Decrease the roughness a little bit. And that's it. Metal Gold. I think the Metal Gold should be the piece here, down here. Don't need to change anything. Touch. Touch should be this, I think, the surface here. Okay, let's adjust the buttons. Button glass, buttons, make square maybe. Let's check if this is buttons colors. You need to check here. Some materials, I think there's we need to check which is empty materials here. Gel, neon light, gel pad. Let's pick up the object. Button directional glass 01. Button glass. Button icon. These button icons should be black. Yeah, that's it. Darker buttons. The joystick is looking cool. Let's see from another camera. Let's see from another angle. To see the shader, if the shaders are correctly applied. Yes. Now you can see through the camera and see with the grains. Let's connect the grains back here. Let's see some other position in the camera, like the shot. That's the final look of our PS5 joystick project. That's the final rendering of the animation. This project file will be available in the Gurmode if you want to buy to study this project. The link is down there in the description of the video. Thank you guys, see you at my next tutorial.